Good. You
Buenos
today.
días.
How about you start today?
Buenos días. Well, thank you for the permission, my beautiful woman. I feel spiritually awakened already. No, just guys. Thank you, Luis. Buenos días, mi gente. Hello, and welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche this beautiful sunny morning here in Charlotte, Connecticut, because it is. It's a little brick out there, though. Like, I'm still not used to enjoying the 60, 50-ish degree weather, and I hate that. I had to admit that my blood has thinned. But good morning. Thank you for coming on this morning, this beautiful Thursday, May 6th morning. This is La Margarita, your magically orgasmic being. What happened? Is that me? Damn it. Oh, I'm mine. I don't know if you can, so you can hear me, right? Let me know because I'll sing off key. Buenos días, buenos días. Does anybody hear me? Okay, good. So I don't know what happened. She'll come back on. So I'm just going to say good morning. Well, I am La Margarita and welcome for being on this beautiful morning because it is a beautiful morning today. Okay, so I want to go into order because, you know, I feel like I don't. So, vamos a ver. Here we go. So Luis Sanchez, good morning. Kimberly sandwich. I'm not hungry.
Did you stay on the whole time? Were you on the whole time?
I was on the whole time and they can see and hear me. And I was about to sing to them and somebody said, hold on, we can see and hear you.
That's good to know because that means that when it screws up on my internet literally just drops. And that's good to know that it was still going, even though I'm the one who signs into the thing. So that's fabulous to know. And we should know that anyway, because that's what happened when we were on with Karen and she was still in the back going.
She was still on. So Kimberly says it's almost Mother's Day. So yes, with that, the Badass Buddha wishes all of you mothers out there a very, very harmonious day and be happy with you, not about pleasing all the other mothers in the world, except that you're the mother on this special day, which we are every day, but since we must celebrate once a year, just accept the fact that you are the mother that is being celebrated on Sunday and accept nothing less. Lewis says the glasses.
I'm a mother, all right. I'm a mother, all right, at some time.
Happy thriving Thursday, Francia. Desiree, good morning. Buenos dias. Lillian, buenos dias. Lillian's been extremely busy these last couple days. Shay, good morning. Tiffany Bryan, you hear me? Buenos dias. Kimberly. Michelle Houston. Okay, I think I got them all. So I already introduced my magically orgasmic self. I know we don't want a repetition of all of that. So the floor is yours, my dear.
Good morning, everyone. Lori Monaco, Badass Buddha. Yes, sunny Connecticut, breezy today. So good morning. We're already a little late anyway, so I'm not going to go into a long drawn out thing. Happy to be here. Happy to be here today.
Yes.
I think that's good. All right, my dear. What do you want to do? Do you want to start with?
I want to talk about this fantastic earring that I created. Let's talk about my earring. Look at this. I love it. I was wearing little feathers. I said, I need big feathers. So here we go. So yeah, what are we doing?
Well, we could talk about coffee. We could talk about did you mention a reminder today, later today?
No.
Go for it while I type in
a reminder that today is May 6th and the day of my book signing, book reading from Soul Searching for Peace. You know, everything's been happening in my life a certain way that I even forgot that on April 27 was the 1-year birthday of Soul Searching for Peace, 2nd edition. So, but it works out. It's still early in the next month. And so I today I feel like that's what I'm doing. I am celebrating the birth of the second edition of Soul Searching for Peace. So if you're in the area, Bridgeport, Connecticut, stop by 1123 Main Street at the Collab Exchange from 6 to 7. That's when I will be reading, and we will be streaming live from Viva Cafe con Leche. So come listen to me run my mouth some more. But, you know, the only difference is you're going to do it with me being in person. So, Benny, let's celebrate.
Yeah. You get to hear her run her mouth twice in one day. And we have to work out the fine little snafus. So I was supposed to be there today. However, I don't think that's going to happen. My dad fell ill. Well, I don't even want to say ill. I guess it was a little ill, but my dad had a very, very bad reaction to the second vaccine. And as a result, he has been bedridden since Sunday night. And it's been a real challenge. He's not strong enough to get up on his own. He's been falling. And I cannot leave my mom with him by herself because she won't be able to lift him up. He's fallen 3 times already. And thank God for my my senior in high school daughter, because twice she's heard him fall, because I didn't hear it. I was on the other side of the house, and she was there to help me up. So I was very grateful for that. So I wanted so badly to be there, unless I could find somebody to sit with him and my mom, because other than that, I won't be able to make it. But we're going to figure this out, though, and we're going to get StreamYard going and everything all situated, and everything will be wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And she's going to really kick ass. And now I'm a little worried because it's 8:11 and I'm not seeing our guests.
They'll come. They will come. So while we're waiting for her to come in, Desiree, the reading and the flyers from 5:30 to 7. 5:30 is for people to come in, get some coffee. That's when Lori was to mingle with them, interview them live. And just, because you have to wear your mask while you're in this place. I think I'm the only one that doesn't need to, because of course I'm going to be reading. If not, I'm going to faint. Liza, thank you for that. Praying for that. Absolutely. It is in these situations, I just like virtual hugs for Lori all day and her mom, because this is no joke. So 5:30 to 7, but the reading is actually from 6 to 7. So don't feel like you're running late if you're coming out of work, or if you're trying to find parking. It's going to start at 6 and end at 7 with conversation in between as well. So,
good.
Yeah,
we're at a loss today. So
no, I'm all the love you're getting for your dad. You got to read. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm still saying good morning.
Yeah. Sandra from San Antonio, Texas. Hola, Cantu Molina. Sandra Molina. Such a pretty name. Liza, we've missed you. And by the way, for my Connecticut people, I will be leaving around the 17th or 18th of May. I am going back home. So if I was not here on vacation, so I want to apologize to people who feel like I haven't gone to visit them. I came here to mourn. And in that morning, I ran into a couple people, but really I haven't been out and about. Liza, Michelle, anyone else want to get together with the Badass Buddha and I, or me, and then we'll Zoom the Badass Buddha in if she can't make it out. But it's, we're like a team. So let us know. Let us know.
So I'm going to try to get I got to check something here. So why don't you do me a favor? Talk about coffee. Talk about start talking about your intention. Because I got to see if she sent an email, because she would have been on already. So let me see if I can see if she sent anything. She is in a different time zone. So there's a possibility that
you said you have the number in the bio thing, right? That they send?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So good morning to my beautiful sister Connie, who's on. Buenos dias, Nancy Green. Chanel, well, come and hug me already. Pizza, come on, Chanel. I dare you. Come on. The intention. My intention today is the wound is a place where the light enters you. People complain so much about being hurt and wounded and scarred. That is the place where the light enters you. It's just Rumi. He is one of my favorites besides Khalil Gibran. And Rumi also says that the cure for the pain is in the pain. And we mustn't forget that when we are in pain or feeling uncomfortable, and then the woe is me dance starts. And just remember that we must have a balance of the good and the bad in life. So my intentions for today is to remind you that the wound is the place where the light enters you. So remember, when you feel like, oh, I was in the dark alone for so long, but remember that that is where it was in the darkness where you gain your strength to fight like hell to get out. So, when we tell stories, and this is a side note, when we tell stories of what we've had to endure, the struggles we've had to face, don't forget to end it with a bang by telling us and reminding yourself as you're telling the rest of the people where you got your strength to get the hell out of that place. Because it's not the victimization, like when my story is like me reading, something that had nothing to do to pertain to me. We got to remind ourselves the strength that we pulled from within that literally got us out of where we were. So that's my intentions for today. Lori is still doing that. Good morning, Gwen, Lord, Janet Ramirez, my little sister, Alicia. Good morning. So yes, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about blessings. We're going to talk about things happen. I've been in my morning. I've also seen a lot of light. I've seen a lot of blessings in form of just people sharing, of people just remembering and reminding. And I think that's the best gift that we as humans could give one another, is to remember who we are. And half the time we do that by reminding someone else of how strong and bold they are. And I think the authenticity in humans is when we give compliments and love from a kind place, a place filled with gratitude, it always boomerangs back to us, and it comes to us at the moment that we need it the most. So my daughter surprised me around 1 something in the morning. My son-in-law flew in from Tampa yesterday just to be present at the book signing tonight, and then they fly back home tomorrow. So, and tomorrow is my daughter's birthday, so I get to spend like the morning part with her tomorrow. And that's what I mean, like blessings comes in all shapes and sizes, and in all languages. I was watching this fantabulous Korean flick, and no one understood why I love to watch these, but it's like you learn certain things out of different cultures, and the characters were phenomenal. If you want to see, it's called Memories of Alhambra, filmed in Granada, Spain. But anyway, so just remember that dark place you were at, you can always look back and remind yourself, but only think of the place, how you got out of it. Not, oh my God, I suffered. I can't believe I trusted this person and they hurt me. That's BS. That's not how we start the day of gratitude. It's like, I'm here today because I pulled my big girl panties on and I said, no mas. And that's how we move forward. And that's how we all got to move forward. I have not been alone since my mother passed away. I've been, my sisters were with me, and my cousin Iritza flew in for a week, and then I went with Lillian to Vegas, and then I came back to Connecticut, and I with my sisters every day, and then I went to Texas, and I was with Lillian and some friends and all of that. And now when I get home, it's just going to be me, myself, and I, it's going to be my mind, my body, and my spirit. And we're going to have to come to terms with my 10 plus years of caregiving, of caregiving and giving the best you got, and then assisting them and loving them while they transition into the next round. So now I have to go home and heal from my trilogy effect that I guess I'm mourning all 3 of them now together. So that's what I'm dealing with. But does this scare me? No, I'm so looking forward to being alone and just dealing with what I have to deal with, because that's how I heal.
Sorry. Right, I would have to even say that it had something to do with my father, but it's the kid, it's the dogs, everybody, and it's looking like our guest is not showing up today. So
who wants to come on? Invite somebody from
the only thing I could think of, yes, if anybody wants to jump on, the only thing I could think of is that, so she's in, I believe she's in Idaho. So I think she's 2 hours behind, right? And either she forgot that it was morning show, although I think we made it really clear because she came on to the night show before. And then we did say she'd have to get up early. Remember, we had this conversation with her because she does have like 5 kids. And so she said she's usually up early. So I'm not sure what happened.
She hasn't sent any messages. If she,
no, I'm looking like I sent her.
Liza says she'll come on.
So Liza's coming on Tuesday. So before we bring Liza on, I'll send you the link, Liza, if you want to come on, because what we were going to talk about today, and I think we should still have the conversation. So what Kira was going to talk about today was the age of the prophetess. It's actually women stepping up and becoming this entity and representing the gender itself and being powerful entities and creating a massive change in the world. And we're starting to see that because we're seeing women step up and do things that they were either told they couldn't do before. There's companies that are just run by women completely. And not that we're saying, it would be wrong to say but men have run companies exclusively for years, and nobody's ever said anything. So we are about to step into an age where we need to embrace the female spirit. And that's what we're going to talk about today, because Kira's also a publisher. And she really encourages books to be published that are more spiritual in nature. Among other things. But so let me invite Liza.
Yeah, bring her in. The year the prophetess. Yes, and that is exactly, it's such a great topic. That's what I was talking about. You must sit with yourself, mind, body, and soul, because we all have that certain gift, and we all have that energy of being this entity that can comfort and guide and love without being there one another and heal. See, my past is of that is the priestess. But I think, yes, so let's is she coming on? Sandra, thank you. Yes, it was an honor to have been given both of those assignments. And I just been having conversations with God that, if I must have another assignment, please give me a break, like a year. Let me reconnect with all of Margarita, with all of the perimenopause and the menopause and the deaths and the mourning and understanding. So that's been my conversation a lot with God.
And you're right. You need that break. You need that reset, because to go from one to the other is just absolutely mentally, emotionally, spiritually exhausting. And even with the best intention that you have, it's that you want to be there, and be there for that individual. It's really hard. So I just sent an email to Liza with the link. She's going to go check. And so let's talk about Tuesday's show while we're waiting for Liza.
Really, you want to talk about Tuesday show on this beautiful Thursday morning?
Tuesday's our 1-year anniversary. We technically started on May 9th. We did a May 9th show. We did a pilot episode. So it was a Saturday show just to see how things went and run through. And then our first official show was that Tuesday. So we are going to celebrate this Tuesday with a 1 year. We're going to do a roundtable conversation. It's a 90-minute show. We would love if you could stay on between 8 and 9:30. That would be great. But if you can't, we completely understand. Don't worry about it. But we definitely share, because we're going to have some interesting little things going on and conversations. We're going to highlight what we did for the last year, all the people that were on. We're going to talk about the people that were on, the conversations that we had, and where we're moving forward to, what Viva Cafe con Leche is going to look like for this year, for the year after that, for the year after that. So let me add Miss Liza. There she is. Look at you.
Look at her trying to be all cute and shit.
And listen, she jumps right in because look, she's in the car, man. She's like, you know what? She's like Ephraim. Ephraim's the same way. Ephraim was that person where we're like, Ephraim, our person ain't showing up. You know, and he's like, just give me the link.
Why you sitting in the car?
Yo, you can hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear me? So I'm in front of the hospital. Look, the Boogie Down Bronx, because I live in New Rochelle. Boogie Down Bronx, Montefiore Hospital. I'm caring for my mother. Oh. So I drive her to all her doctor's appointments, and I take her to all her appointments. So I've been in her house since 6 o'clock this morning. So I've been up since 5. And yesterday was the surgery, so I was up at 4.
That's
so
right.
I'm running on fumes now.
Yes.
I know. I was communicating with Dr. Lori. I was communicating. I said, girl, I've been taking care of my mother. So yeah. I get it. I was so, I really appreciate, listen, you ladies have really inspired me to have a better relationship.
I know.
It's just these daughters, these women, Lori, these women out here, really. I mean, your book, I can't wait to get you. I was telling Lori, I said, listen, I'm running around with my mother right now, right? Because she has all these doctor's appointments. And I said, you know, I got to get up to Bridgeport. Before she leaves, I have to go up there. Because I think it's so important, these connections that we have. And, you know, these daughters that are like, you know, nitpicking at their moms and forget all that. Forget that. Your mother is the most glorified. You want to talk about women, you want to talk about strong women. Mothers are the most powerful women on this planet. That's my take on it. I'm learning that through logging onto the shows, through your experience, Guru, through Lori's experience, through your stories, your inspirational quotes, your messages. And you know, there's something about when you say, breathe in the beauty, exhale the bullshit. I be waiting for that. Because that is what gets me. That's what keeps me. You know, I haven't been able to log on like I'd like to because, you know, I've been dealing with my mother and I've been tired. I have my family. I have a child with autism. You know, there's a lot going on. But there's something about that statement that I'll be like, we exhale the bullshit today and do what I got to do. That's it. That is it.
That's all you can do.
That's all you can do. So I am so grateful. I mean, I was supposed to be here. Right now, in this moment, I was going to say what I needed to say. 100%. So I am so excited. I mean, I used to be gloom and doom when I used to take my mother to these points, but then there's something has risen up in me to be like, can't wait to take my mother to the doctor. I can't wait to help her. I can't wait to bring her home. I can't wait. She's alone. She has nobody. I'm it. So this is so important. I had to share that with y'all.
No, thank you. Gosh, Liza, that was so phenomenal.
Thank you, because like I'm going in my book. I have something called the mixed match pair, and I kept saying I have to write something. I have to write something. Do you know I did not sit down and allow myself to write like little bullets, things that I want to address tonight at the reading about my parents, because the chapter I wrote sounds very mean. And I wrote that while they were both still alive. But you know what? That was my truth. That was the truth. And I had to purge it out. And I purged it out like that. And if there's anything, I mean, it ends beautiful. But if anything, it is to teach the people out there, especially now with the bullets that I wrote, is that we're here because of them. And they loved us the best way they knew how. Exactly. And my resentment, and what I'm going to talk about as well, was the resentment formed as a child, that although I grew and matured and leveled up, that thought did not. It just festered and made me angry whenever I was around her, not realizing that that was formed as an 11-year-old, 12-year-old little girl who felt unloved. But here I am, going to be 53, and it was that aha moment, that epiphany, and it took her to just leave this realm for me to realize that was little Margarita's thoughts that didn't develop with her. And that's my thing right now, I believe, is to teach that so that other women, so that other little, other women out here can just say, perdóname, mami, te perdono. Forgive me, I forgive you. Let's move on from right today. Don't wait for them to not be here anymore.
Liza's all about the restart.
That is late. Don't wait for that. So if I had to suffer through this and deal with this and not be able to write what I'm speaking about tonight until midnight last night, then it's because I needed to be here so that I can be that vessel, so that I can be that message to remind people, just wake up already and go hug your mother, because she gave you life and you're here today. See, now I can proudly say I am this strong, badass gladiator guru because my mother wasn't, but she fueled my fire to be who I am. So pa'lante. And if your mother's alive today, go hug her. Or call her. Right. Say, bendición, mami, I love you. You know?
They need that. So it's so funny because I realized that the whole time I was like, I need my mother, I need my mother, I need my mother. But I wasn't trying to make that connection because we just weren't, But now we need each other. Right? And I think that's so important. And, and it's important for me to play my role as a daughter, the oldest daughter, 3 children, the oldest daughter, to play my role and my part. And if I was given the opportunity to work from home and I can finagle and run around, then I have to do it and take care of her to get her to a place of stability. I think that's so important. And it has helped me realize my role as a mother, because I'm a mother of 2 boys. So it has placed me in a position to recognize now, while my kids are still teenagers, to be that mother to the boys and stop the bullshit. Stop the bullshit. It's not worth it. It's not worth it, not one bit, not 1 ounce of it. 100%. So that breathe out the bullshit, that's a living statement.
It is.
I think the big powerful piece here is that, first off, our parents do, whether moms or dads, they do the best they can with what they have at that time. You only know what you know. And you're coming from a place with what you know and how you respond and how you treat your how you are as a person. You only know what you know. And you can only do what you can do with what you have. So if you're coming from a place that you're insecure and you're afraid, that's how you're going to live your life. But we always want to blame the parents to say, well, they were like this and this is why I'm the way I am. And we say, okay, well, you know what? But I love how Gladiator Guru puts it, because she turned it around and said, I was what my mother couldn't be. I'm not going to blame my mother on what she was and say, oh, she was such a wuss and she let people take advantage of her. And she was like, she's not going to talk about that. She might have at one point had to deal with that, like get past that piece and say, how could you be that way? How could you let these things happen? Blah, blah, blah. But then once she got past that piece and realized how her own internal fortitude came to be as a result of her mother's, let's say, inaction, then it went from resentment or anger to gratitude in the end, and we want to always be careful about saying that, because we're not, when we talk about gratitude, we're not grateful necessarily for the situation. Like if it's a bad situation, people go, how could you be grateful for a bad situation? We're not saying it that way. I am. And you are in your case. We're grateful for what we learned from that situation. Like what that happened for a reason. What did we take from that situation?
Yeah.
So it's beautiful to, I know, Liza and I've had conversations. So this was years ago where I knew what her relationship was like with her mom. So to hear you say this is just beautiful, because you let go of a lot of stuff and you are embracing the moments that you have, because, the reality is we don't have a lot of moments. We never know when, and it takes us as women, and I'm only speaking as women because I'm a woman. I don't know it from a male's perspective, but we handle shit. We can take all kinds of stuff and we can handle 5 gazillion things going on. You know, I got my daughter my little one getting all mad because she wants to walk to the bus stop, which is literally at the end of the driveway by herself. My mother arguing with her, saying that she can't go by herself, which is ridiculous. I'm looking out the window, I could see her. And then she's coming in telling me, the baby, going, Grandma's so ridiculous and blah, blah, blah. And I'm going, oh my, this is just, you know, but we're like, I'm like, excuse me, hold on, handle this, you know, whatever. So we handle stuff and we're so good at it. And we have to honor ourselves, but we also have to honor the women that came before us, because the good or the quote bad, because that is why we are the way we are. We've learned something. And if you're still stuck on what happened in your past, especially when it comes to your mom or the feminine, you know, individuals in your life, what is it, the message that you were supposed to hear? What do you have to learn? And you need to let it go, because you cannot move forward and create the you that's supposed to be here unless you let go of the past. You have to cut those strings and be grateful for those other pieces that were there.
Absolutely. And absolutely, you have to recognize. Without recognition of where we were, where we're at, and how we're going to get to where we're going. So you're putting your lives in everybody's hands. But Liza, tell me a little bit more. So you began like being what you're doing right now. When did you become like, you're across the street from Fordham University right now, right?
No, I'm across the street. I'm across the street from Montefiore Hospital. There you go.
In the Bronx. But is that not
in the Bronx?
By Fordham University. You're on Fordham Road right now or no?
No, I'm in the Bronx on Bainbridge.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm on Bainbridge. Yeah, my mother was a nurse. She just retired. 35 years here. She was a scrub nurse. She worked in the OR. So she just retired and she moved to Ossining.
Oh. And by herself.
She just got divorced after 27 years. Right. So she's by herself. Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, it's fine, you know, but that's when it all started, when I helped her sell her house and move into an apartment in Ossining. That's how it started. The relationship, the rekindling of the relationship.
That's what I was waiting for. Thank you.
Right. Yes. And that's when I realized how important was to make this move, because I knew, this may sound selfish, I knew it was going to heal me.
It's not.
By me making that decision, right? It's perfect, right? Mother's Day coming up soon, Sunday, right? You know, our first Mother's Day in 10 years that we've spent together. I've never spent Mother's Days with her. Not once. Lori knew that they would come and go. Never spent Mother's Day. So this is our first Mother's Day that we're going to spend for the first time in like 10 years.
It's nice.
Wow.
Yeah. So it
sounds very familiar. It is. Sounds very familiar. I didn't call Mom whenever I came to town. I would see her. It was like whatever. It was a whatever. And it wasn't until she was put in a psych ward in December 2017 and misdiagnosed with schizophrenia, and up until like a couple months before she passed, that I had to pray. When my sister called me, I was like, no, I had to pray and pray and pray and pray until I said, show me a sign, because I don't think I can go over there and take care of that woman. And my sister's like, I can't do it alone. And I came, and it was still hard. And then when I took her to live with me in Tampa a year ago, I had to pray not to get upset and not to yell at her and not see her as my mom, but as an elderly with dementia who had balance issues and couldn't walk on her own. And it took a lot of praying and believing in my spiritual guide. You know, it took a lot of burning sage and lighting candles. It took a lot of my spiritual healing and my spiritual practice for me to just like get them demons out of my ear that say, oh, why are you helping her? She was never there for you. You know, and that's what I had to deal with. So that is, and it was because I forgave her without forgiving her out loud. I forgave her, and I started to forgive me for forgetting the good moments we had and only remembering the bad. So I had to do forgiving. Go ahead.
So I do want to point out one thing to your point, what you said. we have to change the narrative.
Yes.
The
That's
conversations that we're having. So I'm a big believer on restart, but this is where I was running into a problem when I was restarting my day. I would restart my day. That is true. And Lori knows that I'm big on restart. Restart your day. I don't give a shit if it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Restart it until you go to bed.
That's right.
Amen.
But I wasn't right. But the problem was that I wasn't changing the narrative. So in order to restart your day, you have to change the narrative with the restart. You cannot just restart and press the button. You have to change this. The narrative has to change. So once I started changing the narrative about my mother is when the healing started to take place. And that old shit, as Lori said, you got to move forward. You can't think about the past. That old stuff started to wither away. It wasn't there anymore. That narrative, that story that I was playing over and over and over, it was gone. It was diminishing.
It was our story, not the story.
Correct. Yes. It was our story.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. One word makes a difference there. Absolutely.
Right. And you know what? I have a new pair of shoes that I'm walking.
Beautiful. You're gonna make me cry. I cry every day since Mom died. And I cry in front of people, which is like a gift in itself, because everybody thought I was like they call me Cruella de Vil. That's why I'm gonna let this right here grow in all white. But because I didn't cry, because I consider that to be weak all my life.
No, that's healing. That's amazing.
Well, you know, I had to change my narrative on that, because my mother cried a lot when I was young, and I always considered it weak and pathetic. So I had to change that part as I was with her, and I would have conversations in between her dementia, and I realized she was so abused. She was so beaten. She was so unloved. So forgiving was like breathing. Forgiving her for the scars was like breathing for me at this point, and it was beautiful. Go ahead. What you were gonna ask?
So for you, when you cry, moving forward, right? Because crying is a different experience.
This is me saying, "Oh my God, I cried."
It's a different experience now. We're gonna say it's a different experience now when we cry,
it's right? A great experience.
So crying for me used to be painful. Like when I would cry, I would feel pain. I don't feel that anymore. Now when I cry or shed a tear, I feel like I'm taking a shower.
That's a
shower
it's a release
of cleansing my emotion. It's a release. I'm taking a shower because I was dirty. I felt dirty. So now my emotions and my feelings have lightened up. I don't feel that heaviness anymore. So when I cry, it's cleansing all of my emotions, all of my senses, and my narrative has changed.
That's beautiful.
So I'm grateful for your show. I am going to say this and put it on. I am going to see you before you leave.
You better, because then I won't talk to you no more. I'll be like, I was all the way over here. Watch me. I don't be playing.
I want to see you. I want to see you before you leave. And you know, I think we were all brought in here together by divine intervention.
Of course
it is. Totally believe in that. 100%. It's just confirmation.
The age of the prophetess. See, when I hear the age of the prophetess, I was really looking forward, because Kira is amazing.
Yeah,
she's amazing. I'm so happy that Lori connected with her, and we were able to have her on Viva Moms After Dark, because Lori's been picking like phenomenal guests to be on here. And because she is spiritual, and you know, because of my 10-year stint being a caregiver, a full-time 24/7 by myself caregiver, I am an expert caregiver. And you know what? I am that sacred healer, because my husband suffered severe upper respiratory infections, was out from work for weeks, and that was our biggest fear when he got ALS. My husband never got a runny nose. There was no boogers coming down his nose the whole 6 years that he was in my care. My mother, same thing. So I am that sacred healer. I am very spiritual. I grew up in Espiritismo. I believe in my God to go to at first. So I believe that this was divine intervention today, because now we have to be there and send white light to Lori. the badass Buddha's going to need all the energy and all the white light sent to her, because this isn't something that's easy. It doesn't matter how many people you have in the house to help. It affects each one differently. The emotions that are attached to watching somebody go from this, and like, they're because of age you're going, but when they like drop down and you're like, what the fuck? Like, what am I supposed to do now? And then all of a sudden our defense mechanism goes up. Oh my God, but how am I going to do this if I have this to do and I have that assignment to put in and I got to take care of this? So she's going through it without realizing like the full effect of what she's going through, because our defenses kick in and I can't do this. Mom, you're going to have to do this because I have, an agenda that's been made since last week. And then we're driving ourselves bananas. Just breathe in the beauty and breathe out the bullshit. Even if you got to do it 100 times a day, do it. By always valuing.
I'm going to be hyperventilating. I'm going to be breathing in so much beauty and breathing out so much bullshit.
But you have to. You have to accept it. If we don't accept where we are, and that's what I learned through my caretaking. So, mi gente, I'm going to plug myself in right now because I tell the badass Buddha do it all the time and she doesn't. I will be, once I get back to Tampa, I will be starting my podcast. Not video, just a podcast. And it's Gladiator Gurus, the kick-ass bitch of menopause. But it's a caregiver's podcast. It's for caregivers to speak freely, because we go through so much and we feel so much. And then this and this gets so confused. And then you feel like a piece of shit because you're like, they're fucking wet their diaper again. But it's okay. It's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to want to run around the house naked because I've done it. It's okay to go out 4 o'clock in the morning and dance under the moonlight just to get that energy. It's okay to blast your music and just dance and ignore them for an hour. It doesn't make you a bad person.
Her neighbors really enjoyed when she would dance naked in the moon too. It was very, So it wasn't just enjoyable for her. It was the neighbors were like, oh, there she goes again.
So I think that. No, but I'll set up a video camera next time because it's, I don't need an event to do that. I just got to be. But all I'm saying is, Liza, thank you for sharing your story and crying that you are doing what you're doing with your mom, because you changed your narrative, because you know that you wouldn't be here. And how easy do we forgive lovers and friends who betray us, but yet we hold on to so much resentment to our mothers.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like what the fuck is wrong with that picture?
Yes.
Like, wake up already. That person who cheated on you doesn't need to be in your life, but you're stuck because your mother took away or embarrassed you in front of a friend when you were 12. Like, what's going on? Like, we need to really go back, cry, and clean up that garbage. Yes, and we're so quick to forgive the outside people, but the ones that gave us the life that we're trying to rectify right now, we hold so much again. So you know what? It's time. I've never been a perfect mom. My kids can tell me how I beat the shit out of them when they were little, and they probably deserved it because I don't think I did it on purpose. But hey, they're like strong, firm, individual business owners. Today,
they're phenomenal.
So they needed that ass whooping. I'm never going to change.
Love you. They love you. Like, but listen, but they love you. Like, if you weren't, if you were so horrendous, they would have been in therapy going, I hate my mother, but they don't. They love you, which that speaks volumes of everything, and we have to remember too that the more we know about ourselves, the more we can let go of our past and stop blaming everybody else. Yes, our parents could have created listen, we get our personalities by the time we're 7 years old. Our family dynamics are very influential in our growth as a child, as a young adult, and further on. But my mom, this is what I have to remind myself. My mom is not me. I am not my mom. Similarity. Sometimes you'll sit there, like I'll say something to my kid, and I'll stop for a second. I'll go, oh shit, I sound just like my mother, and then I laugh, But in the end, there's similarities, but I am not her and she's not me. So how am I going to get mad at her for being her? Like my mom is tough to a certain level, but she can't handle things that well. But why am I going to get mad at her if she can't handle them as well as I can? Maybe.
You know why, Lori? Lori, let me tell you something. I realized what the problem was with Gladiator. we feel that we're entitled to hold our mothers or parents accountable
yes,
for their actions and how they do. That's the problem.
Yeah, that is.
What? That's the problem. We cannot hold our parents accountable.
Right.
And when you let go of that shit, that's when you will feel the freedom of who you, and that's where you're going to make room for who you're supposed to become.
Right.
The person that you're supposed to be.
That's
Stop
right.
holding people accountable for shit. You need to hold your own accountability for your own stuff. You're taking away from your growth because you're too busy not appear to, you're too busy appear to, well, they. Why are you holding people accountable? Hold yourself accountable for your own actions and for what you're supposed to be doing so you can be the best version of yourself. That's it right there.
Right.
All day. I totally agree with but what you both just said is so important for people to hear. Because yes, we cannot love completely and fully unless we truly know ourselves. And we cannot move forward until we change the narrative regarding our mothers.
That's right.
And that's going to be my speaking and my when I write my caregiver guide full of wonder, smiles, fucks, and hot flashes. And that's exactly what the first page is going to talk about. Because enough already, enough forgiving your lover, enough forgiving your friends who betrayed you, enough of co-workers getting over on you, and you're like, well, you know what, whatever, I got to do this. No, whatever, go home and say, Mami, perdóname, te perdono. Forgive me, Mom, I forgive you.
Let's you know what, this was such a good, I mean,
this was great.
Kira actually sent me a text and she said she's so screwed up, she's so sorry that she thought she had it in noon in her book, on her calendar. She's like, I don't know how that happened, never happened before. So we're not mad at Kira, and the time zone thing really does throw people off.
Yes.
So I think that we'll just reschedule her, but this was meant to be, and this is a really good celebration for moms. And if you guys are okay, I'm actually going to throw some comments up here because we've got some really good stuff. So Francia writes, yes, my mother was always a victim and always so weak, and that I refuse to be any of that. And I thank her. And that's beautiful because we can't get mad at them for being that way. We just have to say, well, what did I learn from that? Desiree said, thank you, LIZA TUCK, for being here today. Thank you, ladies, for this conversation. Yes, divine intervention. This is the conversation. Look, Tiffany Bryan said the same thing, and Tiffany knows because Tiffany is a caregiver for her mother. So Tiffany thanks us all the time that we give this conversation.
Love you, Tiffany.
This is just, look at Chenille. I so needed this too. We have Sandra. All my mom would do is give me the look. Yes, that was my dad. It would give me the look, and I was in trouble. He'd be like, "Oh shit, that's it. I'm in big trouble now."
I look to my 35 and 31-year-old. You know what they say? I'm just kidding, Mom.
Yes, that's what I do. I do that to my kids. The look. I tell my kids. So Francina tells her kids all the time. This is what happens. This makes us a better parent, and then we say, "Okay, what can I do better? What can I do better than that?" Okay. You're not me nor your father. Right. So, perfect. Look at this. Like Desiree, perfect Mother's Day celebration show. Yes. And then Sophia's writing, I love you all so much. We love all of you so much too, because we all need to be reminded. We do forget, like, even when we're in those, we're feel that we're, quote, enlightened, that we are at a level, but there's always something that takes us back. Like, so I'll share with you. So the last couple of days have been really hard with my dad. My dad is at a point where he's not strong enough to get up, but man, that motherfucker, they always manage to get up when you're not looking. Right. So it's like when you're there and they can't get up and you're like, I got to help you up. But when you leave the room, how the hell do they get up on their own is beyond me. Right. So he gets up, he falls a couple times. Right. And my mother's freaking out. I've always been this way I've always been able to be very calm in a situation. And I look at it exactly what you said, Gladiator Guru. It has to do with, I looked at the way my mom is strong with certain things, but in other things she can't handle. Right. And that was one piece that she couldn't. And I used to get annoyed by that. All it did was make me better at it. That's what it did. It made me look at it and say, well, I don't want to be that way. I'm going to be this way. So when my mom is freaking out, I'm like, Mom, listen, it's fine. She was 1:30 this morning. He fell. And she's like, oh my God, and I come running in and she's like, oh my God, I didn't know, I didn't hear him get up. I'm like, Ma, it's fine. Like, seriously, it's all right. You know, and I was so grateful to be able to pull it together and be calm at 1:30 in the morning for not just my dad, but for her and for me and my kid, who's also helping me help my dad up. You know, we all have our moments. I feel it. I'm getting tired. I'm losing sleep. And when we get like that, that's when the little, you know, bitchy self comes out, because you're just tired. But we have to honor ourselves and say, you know what? It's not them. It's not even me. It's just my fatigue. So what do I need to do to calm myself down? But again, this is all just a big learning experience. You know, for me, why am I here for this? What am I supposed to be doing here for this? What am I taking away from this situation? How long is it going to last? I don't know. It could be days. He could get better. It could be months. I don't know. He's got dementia. So that's complicating things. But we look at it and we say, okay, so what am I supposed to do with the information? What am I going to do? What am I going to take from this? How am I going to do better about, you know, I'm not going to complain. I mean, I have my moments, and I already started to a little bit with Glad. I was, you know, getting stressed out because I have a lot on my plate this week. But it is true. Breathe in the beauty and breathe out the bullshit. You just have to take a breath.
Tornado with that, like a windstorm and shit sometimes. But listen, I wanted to read something. Thank you, Badass, for that, because it's
Listen,
true.
I love you ladies. I absolutely love you ladies. And you know what this is? Forget this fucking cup of coffee. I drink both of you every time I come on the show.
Come on, baby. Come on. I got a new bra.
I drink a little bit of you. I drink a little bit of you. It's a perfect combination, right? It's great energy. I suck the energy. Every time you ladies come on, you know what? I'm going to put this out there right. When you go on the panel on the show and CBS calls you, or MB, whoever fucking calls you, and they put you guys up there, all I need y'all to say, make sure you have that shit on the back somewhere. Breathe in the beauty. Exhale the bullshit. That's it. That's it right there.
Listen, I want to share something with you. This is really important. So look, okay, this is what Iritza wrote. I'm ugly crying in the school parking. I don't want to complain about my mom anymore. I'd never be able to take on all she has taken on. This is, and you know what, Iritza, bless your heart, really, because we sometimes have to do the ugly cry, and that is a breakthrough. When we do that, like Gladiator Guru finally had her breakthrough. She's been growing, but there's a piece that's been lagging behind, and that was one last piece. Is it the only piece? No, we're always growing, but she needed to get past that piece and let go of what she felt was weakness. But in the end, it's her strength. You know, you've been you wear that title very well.
It is me. What is
gladiator in your life?
I am. I wish a motherfucker would try and tell me I'm not, or like put their nose up at it. Nobody's walked in my shoes. You know, and one of the things is like with my pauses in my life, yes, I own that. I earned that. That is who I am. But I wanted to share something before we leave, because it goes for everything. Because, you know, we are not our mothers, but our mothers live within us. So, you know how you're like, oh, I hate it when she did that. But then you'll hear a song, it brings you back to your childhood because your mother used to listen to it. We did that even when mom was alive. But this one is for my Boricuas. It says, I am not African. Africa is in me, but I cannot return. I am not Taína. Taíno is in me, but there's no way back. I am European. Europe lives in me, but I have no home there. I am new. History made me. My first language is Spanglish. I was born at the crossroads, and I am whole. And behold, be okay with your pain, because it is, you know, the cure for the pain is in the pain. Be okay with your pain and learn what it is to forgive yourself for holding on to bullshit you should have threw in the trash. Me 40 years ago. Okay? Even though it molded me, it helped mold me. But just you know what? Do an inventory of your life and your past pains with your mom. Just do that inventory. You know what?
Great.
Do it for me. Do it for you. Do it for your children. Take an inventory on your relationship with your mom and start checking shit off. And remember, she doesn't have to say, I'm sorry. You forgive her. Because if I need to say sorry, that's going to be the only word I have to say to my kids until my last breath. Because I was no mother of the year. Okay? So who am I to hold on to that bullshit? But I had to learn that now when she's not here. So for those of you who have your mother, fucking do the homework. Take inventory in your life with your mother. Revisit that history. Revisit that pain. And then go and hug her.
Right.
Go and hug her.
Listen, can I just say something?
Every day, every chance you get, give her a hug. Tell her that she's okay.
That's right.
Set her free by you stating it's okay. Set her free.
Okay.
Because if you think you're holding on to shit, guess what? She's holding on to double what you're holding on to. So you set your parents free.
That's right.
By letting go of that bullshit because it's not worth it. I'll sit here for 10 hours. Whatever she did, I will sit here and wait for her to come out. And we'll go to the next appointment. And we'll go to the next appointment. That's my duty as a daughter because she gave me life. And this is what we're going to do. This is my life right now, sitting in a car, driving to appointments. Fuck it. I have my cup of coffee and I breathe out the bullshit.
That's right.
All day.
And listen, I want to reiterate, Gladiator Guru, you said something very profound. You said, we are born whole. That is the beauty of what our mother gave to us and our father too, but our mom, because she's the one who actually held us and birthed us. We were born whole.
Her body changed.
That's right.
You know, we robbed her from goods and nutrients and everything. So yeah, we were given a brand new start. We were gifted life through our mothers, which is the whole power of pussy. That's the whole mission statement. They're the breeders of life.
Right.
And then we have the nerve to not forgive them, but forgive an next bitch off the street.
It's so stupid. It really is.
Right. We are put here for a reason. And they are there when they give us life. We are whole when we are born. Always. We're always whole when we are born. And then as we age and as they raise us, we are a part of their experiences. But it is still our own path. It is still our own path. We still need to walk our own path. And we get guided by them. And it may not be the best guidance because, again, they only know what they know.
That's
and again, I'm saying I'm including the dads in this, or any other, or your grandmother. You know, it could be the matriarchs. You're muted, Gladiator Guru. But
I mean, Maya Angelou said it best: when you know better, you do better, right? When you know better, you do better.
Absolutely.
I mean, my mom, out of nowhere, she sends me this text like a few weeks ago. I want to share something with you. I'm like, okay, what's up? Are you okay? Do I need to come up? No. I want to say I'm sorry for not treating you like you should have been treated. That was it right there. That's all I needed to hear. She came to her knees and said she was sorry.
Ugh.
I can't ask for anything else than that. Yeah, she sent it in the text, but she put a crying face. She goes, I'm so sorry. I didn't give you what I was supposed to give you.
Because she didn't have it to give.
She didn't have it to give. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It had to come to this to realize that bullshit.
And it's never too late to realize it. It's never too late to realize it.
Right. But I'm in a good space and place right now. Simple as that.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm in a good place.
And that's okay. And that's okay, because maktab, we don't speak a lot about maktab. It is written. And you are supposed to come to a certain place in your life that you're supposed to come to at that certain time in your life. Not, I should have knew this 5 years ago, or I have time to learn it going forward. No, you are dropped to your knees with the truth when you are supposed to be dropped to your knees with the truth. Embrace that. Remember, in my book, it says forgiveness takes courage. Forgetting takes a lifetime, but letting go takes wisdom. And I'm a motherfucking sage.
Yes.
And that's what you got to do. Letting go is for you, but forgiving, it is courageous. We never forget. But you know what? It's about moving forward, and those people who got to come out at 9. Liza, this was phenomenal. This was just meant to be.
Absolutely.
Anybody want to see my sister's morning look? Come here, sister. Be brave.
Let me see.
Be brave, coño. Come on.
Sister,
I look pretty. I didn't see that because you look pretty. I haven't even brushed my hair because I'm shooting to the hairdressers afterwards. This is my baby sister. Liza, she cries. She cried so beautiful at the drop of a dime. Look, she's not letting herself be seen. Where are you?
That's all right. We're all beautiful.
And I love that she did that. And she doesn't cry in front of me because I used to hate people like stop fucking crying in front of me. Get away with that shit. Because it always reminded me of my mom crying, and I associated it with weak and pathetic and for pity. Right. So now I see my sister crying, and it's beautiful. Like I want that. Like and so when I cried, she's like, "It's okay, sis, let it out," because now she can cry freely in front of me. It's amazing. Right, let it out. And we just are healing. My 2 sisters and I, we've been like fucking. Well, how is it that you say panties and what, Tiff?
Panties and drugs.
Booty and drugs. Booty and drugs. We've been together. We've been laughing. We've been talking about mom.
I love that, Tiffany.
We've been, so fantastic. Tiffany, come here. So
I love it.
So come on. So what you do with that is that's healing. Whether you're laughing with people you love or people you needed to reconnect with, that's healing. Healing to me has never been crying because I don't have baggage of not crying. But what I discovered is with my mom passing, I got the whole Holy Trinity now. I never mourned my dad and I never mourned my husband. And guess what? They all slapping me in the face at the same time. Let me show you my baby. Look at my Tiffany. Where are you?
Look at her.
I just woke up. She just woke up. Yeah,
listen, I want to show you something beautiful that Desiree wrote. Every show I watch, I think to myself, this is the best show. Then there's the next show. How do you do it? You ladies are amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. We do this because of all of you. Like we do. And you know what? We're so excited that Tuesday's show is our 1 year. Liza's going to be on. Tiffany's going to be on.
Yes, we're going to have Tuesday. That's right.
Yeah, we're going to have 2 other people on. It's going to be beautiful because we're celebrating, first off, the fact that you have been with us. And then we're celebrating the fact that we've been blessed with some amazing topics that they just come to us and then they come to life with the people, especially with the guests that come on. And so Liza, it was, you know what, I've got to repackage all of this now and fix it on Facebook and YouTube to have Liza in there. And we're going to call it Mother's Day Blessings or something like that. Because,
oh my God, I love it. Beautiful. Leave it just like that.
Right.
Leave it just like that. That's beautiful.
Liza, thank you so much for jumping on. That just shows you.
Thank you for crying. Thank you for your tears because they propel mine.
And they propelled a lot of people.
And you ladies gave me the strength to sit out here today.
Yes. And that, you know what? And that's what a tribe does. You know, with what the sunflower story, we give energy, and that's how we grow, and that's how we nourish our spirits and we flourish in our lives, and then we pass those seeds on.
Vibrational pull.
Yes,
vibrational pull. That's where we at.
That's it. And let's do this. Okay, so it's Liza. Any wise words before we close out?
Take care of your mothers. Take care of your mom. Let that shit go. Look at your mother in the eye. Tell her you love her. Give her a hug. Give her a kiss. And let her know that you will always be there for her and that she has nothing to worry about. And it's always going to be okay.
Always.
Amen.
Because as long as you have breath, it's never too late.
Yes.
And now I got it here. Come on, girl. Give it to me. You got to give it to me. You know what I'm waiting for.
Go ahead, Lori.
All right, then. I'll let her get her thing in at the end. So we'll see you guys. Have what's today? Thursday. Have a great weekend. Be there for Tuesday's show, the 90-minute 1 year celebration. Liza will be back in the house and Tiffany will be on, among others. And so from the Badass Buddha, remember, be you, be real, and be extraordinary.
And thank you, mi gente. From the Gladiator Guru, remember to breathe in the beauty and breathe out the bullshit. Namaste.
Breathe it out like a tornado. Bye, everybody.
I love you all. Bye-bye.
Love you, ladies.